Hey everyone, Rick Rush here. Just wanted to do a quick video on advice on studying and preparing for exams. So a lot of students ask me for advice on these things, so I thought I would try to condense it down into a hopefully no more than 4 or 5 minute video, giving what I think is the best way to approach these things. So the three questions I often get: how should I study? How much time should I spend studying? What pace should I go at? So I get these questions all the time. I'll address each one of these. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about what I think are the most important uh, tips that I can give to help you prepare. How should I study? Well, here's what I recommend. Read the text as soon as you can and go to the lecture. And if you can read the text before lecture, that's fine. You don't have to wait. If you've got time to do it sooner is always better than later. Um, do exercises. I want to talk more about this later, but as soon as you can, as soon as you read the chapter or even the first part of the chapter that talks about some of the things that have exercises associated with them, start on those exercises. I'll talk more about that at the end. The one reason you want to do exercises as soon as possible is because it's by doing exercises that you can find out what kinds of problems you can solve and what kinds of problems you can't yet solve, what's giving you trouble. And the sooner you can diagnose that, then you can go into office hours or go to discussion sections and get help on those things. If you wait until 2 days before the quiz to start doing exercises, and then you find out that half of the types of problems you can't solve, that's a little bit late to try to get help. Maybe there's no office hours in that last day, or whatever. But you want to be able to get the help you need as early as possible. And the exercises, in addition to helping you do better, are a diagnostic tool for you to figure out what you need to ask about in office hours or get clarity on in discussion sections. How much time should I spend studying? There's no way to answer that because everyone's different. Um, First off, everyone has a different grade they're shooting for. Some people want an A. They can't, A minus is just total failure. Some people are taking a pass, not pass. They just need a C minus. So that's one factor. Another factor is um, some people, either all of the material or certain chunks of the material come easy for them, and other chunks of the material or even all of it is just not the sort of thing that's natural for them, and they need more time to study. So it really is variable. Um, what you should do, though, is just start doing the exercises early on, and if it turns out you're crushing them, even the difficult ones, pretty quickly, then you can take your foot off the gas a little bit. You know that this material in this chapter comes more easily to you. If it turns out that those are very difficult and you need a lot of help, then you need to put your foot on the gas. Um, so again, doing exercises and starting early helps with this. What pace should I go at? Well, everyone is different, but, and you're about to, tell by now this is a recurring theme. Start the exercises as soon as you can. That's the one pace thing I will say. Um, Beyond that, it's going to depend on how many hours of free you have. Some people have, are working a job and have 5 classes. Some people are taking 3 classes, don't have a job. There's a lot of variability, but the sooner you start the exercises, the sooner you'll be able to intelligently plan the pace. Now, here's the most important tips. Um, in addition to starting exercises as soon as you can. Tip number one, obviously that's come up like 12 times already. Don't just do exercise. When I say do exercises, I'm going to give you a little more detail under the important tips here. Start with the easiest ones. So a lot of the time, students will come into my office hours and they'll say, oh, I'm having trouble doing proofs. I'm having trouble doing truth tables or whatever it is. And I ask them to do a problem, and number one, they usually start off with a medium difficulty or a very difficult problem. And two, they try to go way too fast. I'll talk about speed in a minute. start with the easy ones, because most of the stuff, especially in 1 through 4, chapters 1 through 4, but even 5 and 6, um, the difficult ones are easy if you know the basics. And the problem is, if you don't really have a solid grasp of just how to do the simple things, how do I apply modus ponens, or how do I translate a simple conditional statement? If it rains, the sidewalks will get wet. Put that into formal notation. And don't just think you know it, but actually practice that easy thing. Even if you think it's too easy for you, just spend 10 minutes doing some of those practice problems. Then move on to the medium ones, then the difficult ones. So start with the easiest ones. So those students who come in, they say, I'm having a problem doing proofs. I say, okay, try this one. It's an easy one. Sometimes they can't do that. And I'm thinking, why are you trying these difficult problems when you don't even have the easy ones down? Once they spend 15 minutes on the easy ones, they just involve the simple components and get confident in that, then the medium and difficult ones are actually not that difficult, because it's just doing an easy thing multiple times. So the quote harder ones aren't really harder. They just take longer because it's the easy thing times 5 and times 10. This leads to this point, which is do the exercises, especially at first, slowly. One of the things that holds people back is they try to do the problems too quickly. They try to rush through them because in lecture, I don't think I rush through the problems, but I'm going at a reasonable clip because we have a lot of material to go through. And I think some students have a certain speed, a certain clock in their head, and they think that they have to go that fast. And don't, especially at first. Start with the easy ones and go slow, be deliberate, but relaxed and focused. This also happens a lot in office hours. A student will come in and they'll say, I'm having trouble doing proofs or translations. And they'll start doing a problem and I'm going really fast. I say, okay. And they make all kinds of mistakes and they get stuck and they say, I don't know how to go on from here. I say, okay, let's just start over. What's the first thing? Well, I got to do this. Slow down, breathe. What are you trying to do? What's the first thing? And I don't give any solutions at all. All I do is I get them to slow down, take a breath, really slow down, and then they start doing it and start doing it correctly. So they know how if they just take a breath and slow it down, but they're trying to go so fast that they can't remember what they're supposed to do and they get tripped up and they're thinking 2 steps ahead before they've got the step they're on finished. So when you start off, don't just start with the easy ones, but make sure you start slowly, deliberately focused. Go at a very slow pace, even if it seems way too slow, that's okay. The speed and efficiency will come over time. Accuracy will come over time, but start off slow and easy and early, and then just build up from there. Okay, but don't skip steps. All right, that's all of my super good advice. Good luck on the quizzes and the final, and I will talk to you soon in class.